The reality is that WWE is going to constantly make changes, but now we're going to tell you who made what changes were made, and why WWE decided to scrap some major plans for WWE Raw. But first, we're going to kick things off with Gable Steveson. Disappointing news. There's no other way to cut it. Basically, Gable Stevenson's been, we've talked about Gable on this channel several times, and it seems like he was going to come in, and then it seemed like he was going to debut finally, and it seemed like he was actually going to wrestle. And then there's just all these other reports. There's a lot of mixed things being said about Gable Steveson. Last week, Gable Steveson told Sports Illustrated that his WWE debut is coming sooner than people expect. Interesting, because now he just confirmed with Flow Wrestling that he is hoping to resume his collegiate wrestling career next year, which would be his final year of NCAA eligibility. You have to wonder what is happening here. Flow Wrestling wrote, Steveson still has to sort out scheduling details with the WWE before his return is official, but if all goes according to plan, he will be back on the NCAA mat next season. That to me is a very, very big problem to have if you're the WWE. Okay? You don't want a whole bunch of part-timers, and then if you do bring in part-timers, you want the ones that are going to be actually good for your business. Gable Steveson might be popular within this realm of like collegiate wrestling and Olympic wrestling, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's not like he's this massive mainstream name. By coming into WWE, he's going to change business, right? It's not like Logan Paul or Bad Bunny. So at the end of the day, I don't know why WWE has wasted their time with this experiment, because to me, that's what it is. His brother is in NXT. His brother's doing an incredible job in NXT, actually developing and improving. Maybe he's not the greatest thing to happen, but you're seeing a lot of improvement, and you're seeing that this guy could actually wrestle. We haven't seen this from Gable Steveson. We don't know what Gable Steveson can do. And to me, I think WWE messed up, putting him at SummerSlam, 2021 or whatever it was. Obviously putting him on TV with Chad Gable and the other guys, and then not very memorable stuff, that's for sure. And then on top of that, Gable Steveson, got drafted to WWE Raw last year, and he never showed up on WWE Raw. So as much as you can like somebody and think of their potential as being good, clearly WWE and Gable Steveson, there's some sort of synergy there that's just not working in their favor. It appears to me that maybe WWE is done with this experiment. And truth be told, if Gable Steveson does come to WWE, I get a very strong feeling based on just the whole optics of everything. I just get a very strong feeling that this guy, it's probably not going to work out. It's probably not going to work out, and it's unfortunate because it looks like he had some setbacks, which obviously you can't blame his setbacks, you know what I mean? But with those setbacks, it appears that WWE just kind of gave up on everything. They went from promoting him, making him a big deal, to now there's like no mentions of him. So if he's actually coming to WWE, it's going to be interesting, but I just would say don't get your hopes up at this point. Guys, we got to talk a little bit about Tommaso Ciampa. He returned last night on WWE Raw, and the good news here is that Tommaso Ciampa opened up to a great match with The Miz, actually. The Miz had an open challenge, and Tommaso Ciampa came out, and basically, if you guys saw my video yesterday, so if you guys follow my channel, you know that I talked about this. I talked about WWE, at least at the very minimum, please acknowledge what Tommaso Ciampa and The Miz have gone through in the past, right? Because typically, WWE in the past would not actually offer any sort of logic, right? So Tommaso Ciampa comes out. He does this like amazing segment where he doesn't talk. He doesn't do anything. He gets his NXT theme and boom, he attacks The Miz. And he's actually talking shit to The Miz. You didn't text me, not one text for 9 months. You didn't call me for 9 months. There you go. That was the purpose as to why he attacked The Miz and why he did the open challenge. Now, for those who don't know, people are starting to wonder what exactly is the plan for Ciampa, because now that he's back in the company. Now, keep in mind, months and months and months ago, I told you guys, hey, don't get it twisted. When Johnny Gargano came back to WWE, I said, it's going to happen. It's going to be DIY. And now sources are coming out indicating that, in fact, DIY versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will, in fact, happen for WWE SummerSlam. BWE actually made a really good point to this as well, because a lot of people were wondering why Gargano wasn't on the show, and BWE also said that Johnny Gargano wasn't seen in Cleveland for this week, but a lot of people knew that it would be predictable for him to come out. So the attention right now is on Tommaso Ciampa, clearly. If you look at this, the attention is on Ciampa, but WWE's essential plan right now is to have Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Dexter Loomis, Indy Hartwell, like they're going to be a group, right? Candice LeRae, they're going to be a group, but we're going to see DIY be an extension out of that. And it's a very, very good idea if you're the WWE. But this actually brings us to a very, very big topic, and that actually brings us to WWE's Rollins and Finn Balor. So for those who don't know, WWE reportedly changed. They made drastic changes to the storylines yesterday. They made a massive change to the show. And as you guys know, I tell you not to, go too crazy about this, but Dave Meltzer basically explained the situation. So there was the open challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. The open challenge was supposed to open until the last minute. Vince changed the first 30 minutes of the show. And Vince, according to Meltzer, he says it was totally changed. I don't believe that because other sources do not agree with that. Meltzer added, Vince really wanted this whole Seth Rollins angle with Finn Balor. He just wanted something big, something bigger for Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, because I think it's just to heat up Finn Balor. To be fair, I know people who are there who told me, look, as far as the 30 minutes that Vince put in, it was better than the 30 minutes that was taken out. So whatever that means, they worked really hard at building Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't really care if it's Vince or Triple H. I mean, Finn Balor opening with the chaos against Seth Rollins got me completely bought into their match, especially when you look at later on in the match or in the night, there's like this really cool build and teases between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. This is the way to open up Raw. For those who don't know what the original plan was, according to BWE, the original plan was actually for Ciampa to answer the open challenge for Seth Rollins. Ciampa and Seth Rollins would have wrestled for a very lengthy match. Ciampa basically would have gotten close. He would have lost. And according to BWE, Hunter, Triple H did not want Ciampa losing in his first match back, which obviously makes sense because it's logical. See, so the thing is, if you're reading headlines and if you're listening to Meltzer and if you're looking at all these articles, you're going to think that WWE made a whole bunch of changes and you're going to automatically assume that it's all bad things, right? Triple H, Vince McMahon, they're going to make changes to a show. You're not even supposed to know that. Just like you're not supposed to know about Star Wars changing their script or whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, the real reason is pretty simple. They felt like they had something better to do than what they originally had planned. Now, let me tell you, Ciampa answering the open challenge was way better to be done with the Miz, right? Him and the Miz was logical. They didn't freaking insult our intelligence. Now we got that all paid off. Great. Also, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins has been built up to be this great match I am super excited about. And now it's got me thinking about Damian Priest and Money in the Bank and all of this stuff. It's really good. Sometimes the real reason why plans are scrapped is because the new plans are better. And that's exactly what this was.